Now, girls, be honest. Are these pants too tight?
This week on Ebert and Roeper.
I'll do it.
Drew Barrymore and Hugh Grant in music and lyrics.
Faith, family, country. Those are the things that matter.
Chris Cooper and Ryan Phillippe in Reach.
Why you let them men treat you like that?
And it's an early review of Samuel L. Jackson and Christina Ricci in Black Snake Moan. You're looking at a shot from downtown Chicago where we've been hit with a major blizzard. I'm Richard Roeper, and this would normally be the time where I'd look across the aisle and I'd thank our guest critic for being here, but unfortunately, writer, director, actor Kevin Smith wasn't able to fly in, so he's joining us via satellite from KABC, our affiliate in sunny and warm Glendale, California. How you doing, Kevin?
I'm great, sir. I'm so glad I'm not there, because now I can finally live out my long-time dream of doing the show without wearing any pants. I'm Freebird right now, sir.
I'm going to try to get that out of my mind as we get to our first movie. The first movie we have today is Music and Lyrics, and it's more fun than a Spandau Ballet Tears for Fears concert circa 1985, and I mean that in a good way. Nobody does stammering, self-effacing charm like Hugh Grant, who is perfectly cast as pop has-been Alex Fletcher. He was the other guy in a British pop band in the 80s, and he spent most of the last decade and a half playing venues like Knott's Berry Farm and Busch Gardens. Now he has the chance to write a song for a Britney Spears-like superstar, but he needs a lyricist.
Give it up, I'm a bad heart witch.
No.
But with some magic, I just might switch.
I would love to talk to you about maybe writing some lyrics.
I'm just here to cater to the plants.
That one is plastic.
And of course, that's Drew Barrymore, who's just as comfortable playing clumsy, adorable, vulnerable as Grant is with his wisecracking bounder bit. Yes, of course, the relationship is contrived, but they're both immensely charming.
You will change your line about places in my mind if I can keep the chord sequence into the bridge, yeah?
This isn't a negotiation. It's either right or wrong, inspired or insipid.
I tell you what it is, it's 4 in the morning and we're not writing the last movement of the Jupiter Symphony. It's a song for someone whose last hit was called Welcome to Booty Town.
Newcomer Haley Bennett achieves a kind of empty genius with her spot-on portrayal of an essentially nice but completely idiotic Pop-Tart who takes a ballad and turns it into a multicultural train wreck.
So my fans really love it when I dance.
Yes, you're wonderful, Dan.
And my last CD only went to #2.
But in this case, if you trust us...
And Shakira is breathing down my neck, so I want to dance.
This film kind of takes place in a New York that exists only in the movies. Everybody has great apartments with balconies, you can always get a cab, and the sidewalks are made for long, Woody Allen-esque romantic banter. It's not very believable, but as a pleasant romantic comedy fantasy, I found it to be note perfect. That's thumbs up, Kevin.
I mean, thank God I'm not in the studio with you, because I would choke the life out of you, dude. Come on, this film is terrible. There's nothing noteworthy about this movie. I mean, you want to talk about a no perfect script. The no perfect script would have been the dude that was just like, let's not make this movie. Let's let people remember, you know, the dude from Notting Hill and 4 Weddings and a Funeral. You know, Hugh Grant in a really good romantic comedy. There's nothing romantic nor comedic about
I thought there were plenty of laughs. I mean, you know, the 80s pop tunes, I thought they did perfectly. The video that opens it.
Oh, God, dude, what did you laugh at?
Well, because I think Hugh Grant is the master of the, you know, the kind of throwaway line, and he does a lot of, you know, things that feel like they're ad-libs, even though they might be scripted.
I am the guy that came up thumbs up on Step Up. So obviously, you know, my taste may be questionable. I love a romantic comedy, a good romantic comedy. It can even be a borderline romantic comedy, but this is terrible. This movie is so bad. And does Drew Barrymore have in her contract that every movie she does now has to end with somebody proclaiming their love for her in front of a mass audience in an arena or in a stadium? It's the same thing here. Hugh Grant deserves a much better script.
I wish I could reach out right now. Let me tell you, I thought it was charming as hell. It was funny. Yes, it exists in a kind of movie world, but it reminded me of some, you know, like a Blake Edwards comedy from the 70s with maybe not quite as much bite to it, but that same kind of feel.
Oh my God, dude, if I was Blake Edwards, I would fly to Chicago. I don't care how much snow there was. Dig my way through, find you, and slap the taste out of your mouth for comparing this movie to a Blake Edwards picture, sir. You gave Jersey Girl thumbs down. You gave this movie thumbs up. You're insane.
I stand by my record, sir. Thumbs up for this one.
Our next flick is The Bridge to Terabithia, and it's based on the classic kids' book of the same name. Newcomer Josh Hutcherson plays Jesse, the rural kid from the crowded, nearly broke family who's befriended by the new kid in school who lives up the road from him. Anna Sophia Robb plays Leslie, the girl who teaches Jesse to use his imagination to transform the ordinary woods around their houses into the mythical kingdom of Terabithia.
It's a giant troll. Nice feet.
The The kids spend most of their school days ducking bullies and most of their afternoons ducking attacks of similarly themed woodland creatures like the Swogers.
Good boy, PT.
Now, I don't want to spoil the movie for anybody, but there's far more here than meets the eye than what you're seeing in the clips or the commercials. The Bridge to Terabithia is really a story about formative friendships and how kids deal with death. Yes, there is a death involved, so you might want to take that into consideration if you've got really young kids you want to take them to the movie. But the big question is this. If they wanted to turn the book into a movie and hone closely to the source material, why the smoke and mirrors in the cell? Going in, I was expecting a low-rent Lord of the Rings, but was pleasantly surprised by what Rugrats co-creator Gabor Supo was able to achieve in his first outing as a live-action director. If you're looking for an insipid flick to dump the kids in this weekend, keep looking, because The Bridge to Terabithia has a lot more on its mind and a lot more going for it than the studio's giving the audience credit for understanding. I say thumbs
Kevin,
up.
big thumbs up for me, and I agree completely with what you're saying here. I saw the trailer for this movie, and it had, that's only a very tiny...
Weren't you shocked? Yeah. Like, when I sat down in the movie theater, I'm like,
that's
oh,
just
I don't want to see this. And halfway through the movie, I'm like, it's
that's
nothing
just
like
a very small slice of the kids' imagination where you have those fantasy sequences. And first of all, I'm glad that you brought up the tragedy that occurs without giving too much away, because people should be warned in advance. I mean, it's devastating, and it exists in an authentic world. So when this tragedy occurs, it really hit me hard.
It's directed toward tweeners. It's a weird book to make a film of, because you sit there, especially with the marketing campaign they're driving the film with, because you sit there going, well, if they don't want kids to know what it's about and they want to trick kids into seeing it, the young kids who are going to come out to see it are going to be devastated when this death kind of occurs. I had a friend of mine read this book when she was a kid, and still remembers that scene in the book, and is just couldn't believe that they made a movie
rendered in a very touching and authentic and beautiful way, in an incredibly sad way in this film, and there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, look, well, this is what this movie's about without giving it away. And the other thing I liked about this film is it kind of exists in the here and now, but it also just exists in any time, so kids can relate to it.
Absolutely. There's nothing that really kind of mires it to the now or the then. It's just, it really kind of works in any era. And the dude who directed it is a dude who's historically done cartoons, and cartoons I can't stand. I don't like the Rugrats. But I thought he did a really wonderful job with this first live action.
I couldn't agree more. It's a terrific film. It's being marketed in a deceptive way when you don't need to do it, because you've got a terrific film, and I hope people understand what it's about and see it for its own merits. All right, coming up next, my pick for the best movie of the year so far.
He's given them military secrets, intelligence secrets. He gave them our continuity of government program, which told them where the president would be taken during a nuclear or terrorist attack. The damage he's done to the U.S. government is in the billions. But that's just the money part. He's also given up lives.
Forget about the yawn-inducing title. Breach is a brilliant, intense thriller with great performances and a story that's even more amazing because it's based in truth. This is maybe the best movie of this young year. Chris Cooper is one of our best character actors. Here he takes the lead and gives perhaps the most complete and complex performance of his career as Robert Hansen, the FBI agent turned Soviet spy.
You know why the Soviet Empire collapsed?
Good morning.
I made a career studying them. They were smarter than us, more devious, more determined. So why did they fail? Godlessness.
Now, I have to give Ryan Phillippe his props for continuing to fight past the pretty boy image and becoming a real actor. He has a pivotal role here as an intense, earnest FBI agent who becomes Hansen's assistant. His real assignment, though, is to get the goods on Hansen.
It's just us out here. Nobody's tailing you, there isn't any GPS on your car, and I'm not a foreign agent trying to work you. You don't matter that much.
Breach is maybe the best movie of its kind since the criminally underrated The Falcon and the Snowman. Cooper commands the screen as a pious, self-righteous, church-going straight arrow who harbors an incredible arsenal of personal and professional sins. You don't usually see best actor level lead performances this early in the year, but he does deliver at that level. There's not a single wasted scene in this expertly crafted thriller. Thumbs way up for me.
Yeah, this is the problem with the show having the binary equation of thumbs up or thumbs down, because you've only got two directions to go in. And I didn't dislike this movie, and I wasn't nearly as wild about it as you seem to be. I mean, if you could get away with giving something a mild thumbs up, then I would do that. You were right to mention Falcon and the Snowman, because that's a spy movie that really works and did have me on the edge of my seat. Everyone here is firing on all cylinders, I feel. I feel like all the performances, Chris Cooper's great, even Ryan Phillippe comes off well. And I think that the director is the guy that did Shattered Glass, which is a movie I really liked, and he brings the same kind of tone to this picture. But ultimately, it just didn't wash over me the same way it washed over
Well,
you.
I'm kind of surprised to hear that because it sounds to me like you're giving it a pretty unqualified thumbs up. You like the performances and everybody's filing on all cylinders and the director did a good job. So I'm not sure what didn't work for you if it just didn't have the right tone.
I mean, at the end of the day, like if somebody was like, "Hey, should I go see Breach?" I'd probably be like, "Ah, wait till it comes on
No.
DVD."
I would say go.
Like,
I would say go
totally
see Breach.
watchable.
Watch Chris Cooper, a terrific actor at the absolute top of his game. There are some dark laughs here. The pacing, I think, is perfect. You got character actors like Dennis Haysbert showing up to add a little bit of flavor when we think, oh, it's just too much of a procedural. So I think it's much better than you're giving it credit for.
I think there's the conjecture kind of hurts it because you never really get the distinct impression why he did it. I think it might have been more interesting to see how he went about making his connections with the Russian folks that he sold the secrets to, kind of the way they did in Falcon and the Snowman, where so much of that, the backstory, or so much of the actual plot was about, watching Timothy Hutton and Sean Penn kind of deal with the Russian adversaries. But like I'm saying, it's a watchable flick. I'm just not crazy
Kevin, I
about
couldn't
it.
disagree more. I think you see exactly why he made the decisions he made in little subtle scenes with the Gary Cole character and other things that happen throughout the first maybe 45 minutes or so of the film. You see exactly why he's doing what he's doing. It's a great film.
Right on. Coming up next is what I feel is a truly great film and definitely the best film I've seen thus far in this new year.
Okay, looking at movies now in theaters, which I reviewed with Entertainment Weekly's Lisa Schwartzbaum. 2 thumbs way down for Norbit. 2 more thumbs way down for Because I Said So. And we split on Factory Girl. I was right, she was wrong. Now, in case you're just tuning in, we've been hit by a blizzard here in Chicago, and Kevin Smith is live via satellite from, he's claiming, California.
I hear the snow is so bad there that you might be trapped, Donner Party style. You might have to eat your own foot to stay alive, and I'm looking forward to watching that.
That'd be a good film.
Here's a good film, sir. Our next film is about as fine a piece of Southern Gothic as you'll ever see, right up there with anything written by William Faulkner, Harper Lee, or Tennessee Williams. It's called Black Snake Moan. It opens in 2 weeks, and this is an early review. It's a touching story of platonic love that affords Sam Jackson his best performance since Pulp Fiction, as well as Christina Ricci's best performance ever. Set way down south in rural Tennessee, this blues-drenched two-hander sees Jackson's aging and recently divorced guitar player Lazarus discovering a near-dead Ray, played by Ricci, left for dead on the side of the road outside his dilapidated house. After learning she's something of a nymphomaniac, Lazarus decides to cure the fallen woman of her wicked ways, employing slightly unorthodox means.
Guess I best be on my way.
Well, I think we need to talk some.
No, sir. I gotta be on my way.
Let's get your wits about you for you. I want to tell you about that.
Naturally, Ray doesn't take too well to imprisonment, and she struggles against her bonds using the only weapon in her arsenal she's ever wielded, her feminine wiles and smoldering sexuality.
Whatever you want, you know, if you want to have me, you can take me. I'll do whatever you like. Just when you're done, I gotta go, because I can't stay here with you.
God seemed fit to put you in my path, and I aim to cure you of your wickedness.
But as the story unfolds, we discover that Ray isn't the only broken soul in need of ministering, and it's not long before Lazarus finds courage to embrace the musical background he left behind long ago. Black Snake Moan was written and directed by Craig Brewer, the talented powerhouse who exploded onto the scene with hustle and flow. Another story of personal redemption painted across a musical canvas. Do not miss this amazingly entertaining and heartfelt film. I give it a huge thumbs up.
I'm actually with you on this one, Kevin. It's so...
Thank God, sir. Thank God. After that music and lyrics bit, I was starting to worry.
I thought this thing was so bizarre and so strange, and kudos to everybody for going all the way with it, making it funny and dark and really sexy and having the great blues music and showing the sexuality, that's so attendant with that music. And it all works in this strange way. And you're right, for Samuel L. Jackson, one of his best performances, and Christina Ricci, it takes an incredible amount, let's just say, of guts to, do a role where you're chained to a radiator in your panties and create a true, real, empathetic character. I mean, it's something else.
And what's really nice about it is, like, so often, because you could literally classify this movie as a romantic comedy, because there is romance and it is comedic, but whereas most of those movies are about meet cute and kind of people fall in love, this is a true love story about two people who aren't going to have sex and aren't going to wind up getting married or something like that, but do share this kind of deep bond and deep abiding love for one another. The movie is just, devastating and wonderful, and such a great ride. And man, those blues are fantastic.
Yeah, searing stuff. And I guess you would have liked music and lyrics better if Hugh Grant had chained Drew to a radiator in New York, maybe.
If he had chained her to a brick and drowned her, you know, in the river, then I probably would have enjoyed that movie.
All right, well, moving on here. The Lives of Others is nominated for Best Foreign Film. It was number 5 on my list of the best movies of 2006. Now it gets a wider release, and I implore you to check out this beautifully crafted thriller set in Germany during a time of frightening government intrusion. No, it's not Hitler's Germany, it's East Germany in 1984, 5 years before the collapse of the Berlin Wall. The secret police, or Stasi, are the dominant force.
Ein schuldiger Häftling wird mit jeder Stunde, die man ihn länger da behält, zorniger, wegen der Ungerechtigkeit, die ihm widerfährt. Er schreit und tobt. Ein Schuldiger wird mit den Stunden ruhiger und schweigt oder weint. Er weiß, dass er zu Recht dort sitzt.
Ulrich Mua is mesmerizing as Captain Wiesler, who monitors the private lives of artists and writers and other potential dissidents. Martina Gedeck has perhaps the most complex role in the film as a famous actress. She's in love with a playwright who is a favorite of the Communist Party.
Würde sie einen Menschen verletzen, der sie über alles liebt? Würde sie sich verkaufen für die Kunst?
Verkaufen für die Kunst? Die hat sie doch schon.
Written and directed by the immensely talented Florian Henkel von Donnersmarck, The Lives of Others doesn't hit us over the head with preachy messages about the soul-destroying results of living in some kind of Big Brother society. After a terrific build-up and some unsettling twists, we get an ending that I found to be absolutely perfect. That's a big thumbs up.
Yeah, I'm with you all the way. And this movie, in terms of tension, had a lot more going for it than Breach. Not to slam Breach, thumbs up on it, but I thought this movie had way more tension going for it. And also, thumbs up for doing a story about Germany that's not Hitler's Germany. And this Germany, you know, maybe not nearly as horrific, but ultimately as scary, I think, in terms of what was going on. I mean, you're right. A lot of people probably don't think much about it, but as depicted in this film, what a horrible way to live.
Yeah, and it was only, you know, a generation ago. So, I mean, I think it's just...
It is very recent history. And let me tell you, I know a lot of people out there don't like going to the movies and reading the movie, but this is so worth your time. And German is a really tough language to listen to if you're not German, I think. I sat there going, man, what a harsh language. But this movie is so beautiful, so poetic, so tension-ridden, and just so amazing.
Yeah, this is from a first-time director, so you see somebody who's just got a great career ahead of him.
I agree.
Okay, coming up next, multiple Oscar nominees come to DVD in the Thumbs Up video segment, but first, a look at what's coming up on next week's show.
The author knows so much about me. It's as if he chose me.
You gotta respect it. You don't respect a gay not respect you.
Don't touch it. No, stop.
This week's Thumbs Up videos are brought to you by Raisinets. Make a deliciously smart choice with Raisinets.
You're going to be president of the United States.
Yeah.
All right, looking at movies new on DVD, all getting a thumbs up, coming out this Tuesday. Robin Williams in Man of the Year. Christopher Guest has For Your Consideration. And the Dixie Chicks, Shut Up and Sing, great documentary. And Kevin, my pick this week is Babel, which of course is nominated for Best Picture. It's a terrific film, and I think Brad Pitt got ripped off. He should have been nominated for Best Supporting Actor as well.
My pick this week, I like Brad Pitt in that movie too. My pick this week, I'm going to go with 2. We talked about it, I think it was the first show I did. Half Nelson is out on DVD. Check it out, fantastic film. In my top 10 for the year, I believe it's at number 3. Really great performance by Ryan Gosling and a searing first effort, I think. But also there's a flick that I just watched last night. It's a documentary called Jesus Camp, and my God, is it a fascinating watch. And it's about kids going to essentially a Jesus camp, like very hardcore, conservative, religious folks, born-again folks, evangelists, whose kids are being recruited for, you know, a kind of new evangelical movement. And it's what's wonderful about the doc is it's very even-handed. It does what a really great documentary does, which is just kind of put the facts out there and show you, give you a glimpse into an interesting world you've never seen.
Yeah, and there's a great cameo appearance from the Reverend Ted Haggard in Jesus Camp, and he made headlines shortly after that film came out. So you got Half Nelson and Jesus Camp available now. Babel will be in stores on Tuesday.
Closed captioning for Ebert and Roeper is sponsored by... Guests of Ebert and Roeper stay at the Peninsula Chicago, the city's most exciting luxury hotel located in the heart of Chicago's magnificent Mile.
Okay, recapping the movies on this week's show, we split on music and lyrics. 2 thumbs up for The Bridge to Terabithia, 2 thumbs up for Breach, 2 thumbs way up for Black Snake Moan. It opens in 2 weeks, and 2 thumbs up for The Lives of Others. And Kevin, thank you for joining me from the sunny West Coast.
Yeah, I was going to say, dude, next time, just come out here and we'll do the show. You know, afterwards, we go lay out by the pool. I'll rub some lotion into you.
All that sounded good until the lotion rubbing thing. All right, that's it for this week's show. Until next week, the balcony is closed.